response?
That's not the problem.
Huh?
Get the out of here.
What's your response to the allegations? Is there fraud going on here, and is there children? That's all.
Don't harass me. Don't harass me over here.
We are aware of a video that's being circulated that has gained local and national attention about child care centers in Minnesota. While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously. Each of the facilities mentioned in the video has been visited at least once in the last 6 months as part of our typical licensing process. And in fact, our staff are out in the community today to visit each of these sites again so that we can look into the concerns that were raised in the video. So I won't go into any detail about whether or not any of these have any open investigations. I will share that our team was notified that Quality Learning Center closed just over a week ago. And I believe the details that were given at that time were around space concerns. And that's what was shared. The previous one I mentioned that had been closed some time ago was Mako.
All right, so we played this video earlier today, and we know what's going on here. On the left, we have this daycare, the layering center, the quality layering center or layering quality center. Essentially claims that they're kids now. And then the officer from the city says that the daycare center was shut down weeks ago and it wasn't operational. So which is it? Now, we just wanted to open this up because Nick Shirley's video has essentially opened a can of worms. And they're trying very hard to put the genie back in the bottle. And I don't think it's working. Now, Nick Shirley is being threatened now. Okay, his life is in danger. And here he is talking with Don Jr. about that.
They're so mad. The Somalians are so mad. Because can you imagine, for years you're at the dinner table talking with your family about how everything's good. Oh, we don't need to worry because the government and whatnot. I mean, 81% of these people are on welfare, but on top of that, they're collecting millions of dollars for these companies. Tax exempt, by the way, especially the daycares. So can you imagine how mad they are now? Like, that's why they're right now, there's like people are so upset. Like there's like bounties on me here in Minnesota because people are so upset as far as the fraud that's being exposed because they know their time's up and they know everyone's just sick and tired of this happening inside their own state and across America.
What have some of those threats been?
Yeah, there was apparently like a bolo that they used. That's the word that some people told me was on me, and I can't reveal too much just because I don't want to reveal. But like, yeah, lots of messages, death threats, obviously on social media, and then it's just not the most safe thing for me to be moving around freely right now.
I think that's fair. I mean.
All right, so there he is talking with Don Jr. And Pat, how do you feel as an American, okay, watching fraud being exposed, and in response to the fraud being exposed, you have these immigrants threatening the life of an American citizen who rightfully so has exposed the rampant corruption in Minnesota?
This is the same process they used to take out Charlie Kirk.
Mm.
He received death threats all the time. That's why he had a security force with him everywhere he went. I find it despicable about them because this is the age-old reaction to being caught doing something wrong and then coming back with threats and accusations. It's by their playbook.
Yeah.
But it really makes me mad about the money.
Look, in my opinion, okay, I think that the government needs to investigate this as a as something more than just fraud,
Yes.
because this is beginning to have the scent of organized crime. if
Yeah.
if you have people who are uncovering these crimes and now death threats are being
That's
made.
what the mafia did.
Yes.
And I want to know, did these state officials call these centers and tell them to get children in there? Because somebody did it. Somebody came up with the plan to bring kids into the centers.
Yeah.
Make it look like they're operating.
Yeah.
After they said, oh, those were shut down. Then why are they bringing kids in if they were shut down?
Exactly. But then again, the state itself isn't looking good, because while the daycares are suddenly filled with kids who, by the way, are being trucked in or bussed in, okay, I take my kid to a daycare. He doesn't show up at the daycare in a van with 15 other kids.
No.
His parents drop him off. I drop him off, or my wife drops him off. And, what we see here clearly is suspicious. Okay. Someone this afternoon asked in the comment section, or said something in the comment section. They said they're going to be paying a lot of families to have their kids come over to the daycare now. And I said, well, yeah, they can afford it. They've been getting millions for years.
Yes.
So all they have to do is just buy groceries for a bunch of families and tell them, hey, we're going to be borrowing your kids for a few hours every day.
And then you've got people who came from a country that didn't educate their people.
Yeah.
They didn't know what making a living wage was. They lived in poverty there, and now they're in America and everything's been handed to them and they're living the high life. Like that one guy who came on and did a video about, you go to work for me.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, they arrested him and he's being deported.
Oh, that's nice.
Poor guy.
No. Look. I made a statement yesterday. On one of the videos, and I was quite clear about it, because those of us who are immigrants understand the kind of privilege that these people enjoy, and instead of making it easier for countries like the US and countries in Europe to look at immigration as something that is a benefit to the country, they're seeing it as people coming in, attempting to wipe out their culture, bringing in crime, stealing from the country, shipping, taxpayer funds out to other countries, and in some cases, donating to terrorist groups. It's essentially closing the door to a more hospitable environment for immigrants. And if immigrants don't speak up, it's going to get worse.
They're also wanting to invoke Sharia law in these areas. That is totally, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
That's against our Constitution.
Yeah.
That you cannot bring that type of law into our country.
Yeah.
And yet they're doing it. They're doing it in the cities that they've taken over and in the towns.
Yeah.
They're wanting to invoke Sharia law.
Yeah.
And you can't go out and kill somebody because of their religious belief, or because your daughter decided to date some guy, or because somebody stole something, you're going to chop their hand off. That's what Sharia law is, people.
Yeah.
So no, you cannot invoke Sharia law in America.
Yeah.
There was a man in Michigan who killed his daughter and called it an honor killing. Killed his own daughter. And he's in prison.
Yeah.
But that was done under Sharia law. Him killing his daughter.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand about Sharia law. they make it sound like, oh, it's a great law. It keeps violence down and protects people. No, it don't. It kills people
Yeah.
without trial. So no,
No. Yeah.
they can't do that here.
So let's see. So guys, we're going to be covering your comments in the chat. All right. So what we're going to do is, if you're watching and you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. Hit the like button, the thumbs up, and share the video with people who you believe will love this content. Now, what we're going to be doing from now on, we talked about it this afternoon. We're going to be going through the stories. If you have thoughts, you post them in the chat. And then at the end of this segment, we're going to switch over to the audience engagement segment. We're going to tell you how that's going to work at the end of this segment after we cover all the stories. Now, Nick Shirley is, well, yes, they threatened his life, but he's still on the ground, essentially doing his job. So they printed out T-shirts. They printed out T-shirts for the Quality Layering Center, and here they are, still walking around in Minneapolis doing their job.
Filed a formal criminal complaint against Tim Walls for violating Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9.
When did you do that?
3 or 4 weeks ago.
Recently.
Recently,
Okay.
yeah. So there's an investigation ongoing, and I think Tim's going to have a bad day, and he deserves it because he allowed this fraud because he wanted the voting block that the Somalis represent, because they all vote in a block, and it's 100,000, 150,000, who knows how many. But it's so bad now that when we go to a facility, they're already screaming, Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley.
Unbelievable. Final reaction, Scott.
You know, Tim also was saying that Minnesota is the #2 state to retire in. I think that we're finding out that Minnesota is the #1 state for fraud and the #1 state for leering.
All right, so they covered that, and then one more video where they essentially swarmed them. Like, Somalis are essentially identifying Nick Shirley and his team, and now they're literally swarming them and harassing them outside these centers.
Who owns that? Who owns that building over there, the Quality Center?
That is, I don't.
And why did they change the sign? So then, okay, well, that's what we're here for. So.
Well, right now you need to tell America that, and that's a different
This is my government. People who have a huge knowledge to work. We have MAGA coming here who will review all the kitchen because.
Was that Rebel? Did I see Rebel?
I'm not sure if that was. Well, let's see. I'm not sure it's them. I'm not sure it's them. Is it? Might be.
There's the blonde-haired lady. You just barely seen her.
Okay.
If that's Rebel.
Building over there, the Quality Center.
That is, I don't.
And why did they change the sign? So then, okay,
let's see.
That's what we're here for.
No, that's Cahill. It's not Rebel. So they're
up there with him.
Yeah. And
yeah, she doesn't need a bodyguard.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the Quality Layering Center changed their sign today. They replaced it with a paste over with the right spelling for learning. It's look, you can't make this up. This is happening. We're seeing it live streamed. We're seeing it recorded. Fox News. Look, I'm disappointed in Fox News, and this is the third day running where I will say that Fox News, I'm disappointed. They disappointed me with all of the ICE protests in Portland and in Chicago. They were never on ground. They only piggybacked on reports from independent journalists. Fox.
There wasn't even Associated Press affiliated reporters covering the ICE protest.
Yeah. So if you guys aren't showing up, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then now Nick Shirley goes out there, blows this story wide open, and then the rebuttal from left-wing media is that the way he did it is questionable. And it's like they're talking as if they watched a totally different documentary than what we watched. Like he went in and broke down the doors and stormed all of the daycares and recorded videos. He simply met with the people outside the doors and asked questions.
Yes. I think is what it is that they don't want to recognize that people like Nick Shirley is delivering the news to the people.
Yep.
And Cam Higsby, same way. He got put in the press pool for the Pentagon and immediately got attacked by mainstream media that he wasn't a reporter and blah blah blah. Well, I hate to tell them, a lot of people are getting their news off of YouTube and other outlets on Rumble and several other social websites.
Yeah.
Because they don't trust the news anymore.
No, they don't.
They know that the news is not reporting things. They know that they're not giving a full story on it. They're doing their commentary thingy bopper up there. And it's like one guy told me one time he missed the news we grew up with.
Yeah.
That Walter Cronkite would come on in the afternoon, would tell you everything that was going on, and then get off the air.
Yeah.
He didn't sit there and have coffee and tell you what he thought about it.
Meanwhile, we have Cam Higbee, and you know, we're so focused on what's going on in Minnesota, but Cam Higbee goes over to Seattle, and the exact same thing is happening. Okay, Somali daycares in Seattle doing the exact same thing. Have a listen.
My decoy went up, and she could hear people rustling around on the other side of the ring camera as if they were listening to her but not responding.
Kristen Magnuson and I also went to this house right after you guys to see if we get the same response, and we sort of did. We saw the same thing, you know, the windows with vinyl covering, can't see inside. We ring the doorbell, but actually somebody responds to us.
Hey, is this the Gosh Family Childcare?
No.
It's not the Gosh Family Childcare.
No.
Okay, what's the name of the childcare here?
I don't know.
I ask, has this place ever been a childcare? The woman says no. But obviously Washington state records tell a completely different story.
Yeah, this specific address is locked into Washington state records as a daycare.
Yeah.
It's locked into like the Google page for the business.
Yep.
Is this address.
Right? And it's up to date with licensing. The numbers here.
Okay, so we just visited the Gosh Family Childcare. This address was confirmed online. They get $23,260 in October.
They have made $210,000 just this year.
And how many kids again is this place registered for?
Oh, that's the fun part. 3.
3 kids.
So this place are licensed for 9 children.
Okay. So this place is licensed for 9,
but they have 6 slots available.
What?
Which means they only have 3 kids, and they've raked in $210,000.
What?
In tax money.
And neighbors say when we ask them, have you ever seen kids come out of this place?
Not a single one.
Not a single one.
So this woman comes up. The people who live there actually texted her as a neighbor and asked her to confront us because they thought we were ICE. So the next question is, are they illegal immigrants? Why are they so concerned about ICE?
Jeez, that's another rabbit trail.
A total other rabbit hole. But what she said is, I have seen no evidence that there is a daycare there.
Huh.
She actually said, my husband and I were wondering how those people afford that house because she said the rent was $3,500 a month.
I haven't seen kids over there.
Okay, interesting.
I have seen I mean, I've seen one child over there, like when they have like family things.
Right, yeah.
But no, I have not seen any evidence of daycare activity there.
On 9/11/2025, they came in and they inspected. They found multiple long-term, short-term, serious, and immediate risks to children. That's in September. In September, they were awarded $22,000.
So I reached out to the Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families, right? Again, this is the agency that essentially licenses, does oversight, does the inspections. I have yet to hear back. That's now in the state of Washington.
Yes.
What is the state of Washington's accountability practices now? If there are violations, how much time do they have to correct course? Does funding get stopped? These are questions that still need to be answered. What I want to emphasize, though, especially in our reporting, is that we're not alleging that every single one of these Somali-run daycares are engaged in fraudulent activity.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we went to some today that seemed totally legitimate.
Right, and the vast majority may be legit, but the ones that we've investigated and the list that we still have that needs to be investigated, there are concerning signs. We can't do this alone. There are dozens of places we need to hit up. We've just scratched the surface here in Washington State. A lot of these potential problematic Somali daycares are in South King County. So, frankly, Cam, we can't do this alone. This is a call out now to the community, other citizen journalists, other volunteer sleuths who want to start following up. I mean, really, all you need is courage, some curiosity, and an iPhone to document what's happening at these places.
Yeah, and you know, don't show up and be mean and harass people, but there's nothing wrong with knocking on a door and asking a question.
Look,
I had to do the math.
Okay.
I had to. Because when they get $23,000 for a month for 3 children, that figured out to $7,666 per child.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
We are in the wrong business.
look, okay, so let's oh God.
Open a daycare, get rich.
Look, this is robbing the American people blind.
That's mind blowing.
It's robbing the American people blind, and then you get accused of being a racist when you point it out. So here's the fraud from Ohio. Okay, so Cam Higby does this. Now here's Ohio.
It's a daycare center owned by Somalians and stuff like that.
Have you ever seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
So right now we are in front of the Great Minds Learning Academy. This is one of the many daycare centers, learning centers here in Columbus, Ohio that are associated with the Somali community. As you know, Nick Shirley put out a bombshell report about all these fraudulent daycare facilities in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we wanted to come out to Columbus, Ohio and investigate what might be going on in the second largest Somali community in the United States of America. So this place here is the first place we're gonna knock, and we're gonna see if anybody picks up or answers the door. Let's see. So, it's locked. We're ringing the doorbell here. Knocking on the door. Nobody's picking up. So we're not sure what the hell's going on here, but we're gonna get out of here. Now there's somebody over there. How you doing, sir? I'm sure you see the reports over the weekend about all the daycare centers in Minnesota. We just wanted to see what was going on. Did you know anything about this place here?
It's a daycare center owned by Somalians and stuff like that.
Do you ever see any kids there?
No, because they use the back door, so I want to know if they is.
They use the back door.
Yeah, I never seen nobody come in here, but they use the back door.
But have you ever seen any kid? You live around here?
Yeah, on this building right here.
Oh, you're in this building?
Yeah.
You're in this building too? Hey, let me ask you, have you ever seen any kids in this place here?
No, not that I know of. They use the back, so I've never seen nobody come out the front.
You've never seen anybody over there?
No, not at all.
I just seen it, the building itself. I've never seen nobody come out the building or go in the building.
So we came to the back, just like those guys suggested, and there's nothing here. You know, we can keep poking around, but there's so many of these centers to go to. We're just getting started.
So this is Ohio. What would it look like if all of the reports coming in from all over the country just reveals the same pattern? How would that look? Of course.
Pattern.
No, there is.
There is.
There is. There's a business in daycares having the states pay for daycares that aren't exactly doing the work of being daycares. Jeez. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the chat. Okay, we're going to be having the engagement segment of the live stream. Okay, so stay till the end. We're going to be talking to you and responding to your comments in the chat and really diving into your thoughts. Now, Minnesota lawmakers have confirmed that whistleblowers have come forward. Okay, because people think that this whole thing is all made up. This is all about the FBI trying to make, the Somali population appear to be criminals. The DHS just wants to start deporting people randomly. But here's the truth of the matter. There were whistleblowers talking about this years ago. The state of Minnesota refused to take action on the fraud and the corruption happening. And now they've stepped forward to essentially expose everything that had been happening.
We have dozens of credible whistleblower reports saying that exact same thing, that people were told not to say anything because they'd be called racist or Islamophobic or it would hurt the state. And so people tried to come forward but were shut down. And that protection of a particular community is what really allowed this fraud to flourish in Minnesota for years. But we have said very publicly that, yes, the bulk of the fraud we've discovered so far is in the Somali community, but some of our best whistleblowers are also in the Somali community.
Awesome.
And it's really important that we get to the truth of this issue. And so by failing to call it out, we allowed it to continue, and that has hurt Minnesotans tremendously, taxpayers and our vulnerable citizens.
All right, so there's one more footage. The Trump administration has announced that they are freezing all child care payments to Minnesota.
Alex oversees the Administration for Children and Families. Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I have activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment. Second, I have just signed and sent a demand letter to Governor Walz. I required a full 360 review of these centers. This includes attendance records, licenses, complaints, investigations, and inspections.
And third, we've launched a dedicated fraud reporting hotline and email address at childcare.gov. Whether you're a parent, a provider, a member of the public, we want to hear from you. Let me be crystal clear. ACF expects every state to uphold the highest standards of oversight, monitoring, and accountability for federal dollars. Minnesota is no exception.
We're committed to holding bad actors accountable. Regardless of rank or office, anyone who's involved in perpetrating this fraud against the American people should expect to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
So we have whistleblowers stepping forward to give testimony, and I'm glad that members of the Somali community are part of the whistleblowing group. And then we have the federal government now squeezing the states to ensure that they provide proof for whatever it is that they're being, they are charging the federal government for. Patricia, your thoughts on these reports?
Well, one thing I picked up on, they said across America.
Mm-hmm.
They're investigating every state to find these places. And I was writing down the states that I know about: Washington State, Minnesota, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Texas. That's just a few. So there's other states like California, Oregon. There's states up and down the eastern seaboard and all across our country that these people have been brought into and located.
Yep.
And they located them in clusters. And that's what they do. That's how they do it. And let them set up their own shop, so to speak.
Yeah.
But this is bad, because I think it goes way past what's going on in Minnesota.
We're only discovering the fraud coming from the daycares. And then the healthcare providers also have been identified as being a huge source of fraud. What else aren't we seeing? Because these are the ones that we found.
Yeah, then you've got the CDL licensing of truck drivers.
You have that too.
And that puts everybody in America at risk of being involved in a wreck with a semi-truck.
And for every one of these fraud incidents or fraud sources identified, the response is not, well, let's double down and find the bad actors. The response is racist, xenophobic,
And then you've got, in a lot of neighborhoods, small businesses all at once being taken over by foreign.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've seen this happen in our little old town down here in the south central of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Rural America, that a lot of the businesses have been taken over by people from Pakistan, India, all kinds of different countries,
yeah.
and even Syria. And I'm going, you're from Syria, really?
Well, Minnesota is now the fraud tourism capital of the world, since for the first time ever, people have been charged with fraud tourism. It is crazy that all of this is happening in Tim Walz's state, and he claims Trump calling him a retard is wrong. But his state
is definitely a mental case.
Oh yeah. So we're going to be switching over to the audience reaction segment. Now, here's how it works, and we discussed it this afternoon, and so I hope it's not a surprise to most of you. But for those of you who are watching for the first time, we are going to be ending this live stream and starting another one immediately after. So that means all you have to do is simply look out for the next live stream that continues, and we're just going to be going through the comment section and talking. This is us simply kicking back and just talking about everything that we've just watched and anything else that happens to attach itself to the conversation. We're just going to have fun. So don't forget, if you're watching for the first time, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell icon to be notified when there's fresh content coming from us. And all you have to do is look at the playlist or at the set of videos in the live section, and you see that
we've lost audio. There was
I guess I'm back. Yeah. So we're going to be ending the live stream, and then we're going to be rejoining. Now, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell icon to be notified. Support content by giving a super chat or a super thank. On the next live stream, which we're going to be starting immediately, we're all going to be having some fun talking about this insanity. All right. So just hang on, and we'll be right back. So join us on the audience engagement segment of the show.